Did you know that if a doctor didn't give you full information in order for you to make an educated decision about what type of treatment you needed, you may have a claim for lack of informed consent? Would you like to learn what that is? Come join me and I'll tell you. Hi, I'm Gerry Oginski. I'm a New York medical malpractice and personal injury trial attorney practicing law here in the state of New York. A claim for lack of informed consent focuses around what the doctor told you prior to doing some type of treatment or procedure. Anytime a doctor is proposing a certain course of treatment, he or she is obligated to discuss the certain risks, benefits, and alternatives associated with that procedure or treatment. And if the doctor fails to give you full and informed consent, what winds up happening is that you may make a medical decision about your course of treatment without having the benefit of all the information you need to make an educated decision. Now, when you bring a claim in New York for medical malpractice, oftentimes we will also include a claim for lack of informed consent if the facts support it. And the facts would support it if, in fact, the doctor did not explain to you all the details and the risks associated with your particular treatment or surgical procedure. When I ask a doctor during his pretrial testimony about the conversation that occurred concerning informed consent, here's typically what I'll ask. Doctor, would you agree that it's important to discuss with the patient the risks to a procedure? Yes. Would you agree it's important to discuss the alternatives? Yes. How about the benefits? Certainly. And doctor, would you agree that every procedure has certain risks associated with it? Yes. And would you agree that it's important that in order for a patient to make an educated decision about what course of treatment to have or what type of treatment to have, that they have all the information necessary in order to make that decision? Yes. And would you agree, doctor, that if a patient is not provided with all the necessary information to make an educated decision, then they're making a decision based on information that is not complete and not thorough? Yes. And would you agree, doctor, that the patient would be at a disadvantage to then make an educated decision if they don't have all the necessary information in order to make the proper decision about what to do next as far as their treatment or their surgery options? And the doctor has to agree yes. Now, one of the key defenses that doctors often will use is that they will say that every treatment option or every procedure has certain inherent risks. Now, when you undergo surgery, one of the significant risks obviously is death, maybe from anesthesia, maybe from some complication that can occur. However, most doctors are not going to go into detail about the significant risks associated with a particular procedure. Do you know why not? For the very simple fact that it will scare away most patients. And they don't want to do that, because if you scare most patients away, they won't have surgery, they won't get treated, and now they're going to be left with problems and that they're not getting any treatment for. So that's why a lot of doctors simply say, don't worry, you'll be fine, everything will be great, I've never had any problems with this before. But the reality is that there are always inherent risks, and patients should have the opportunity to make that educated decision. And in fact, the doctor often will make a recommendation to the patient and phrase it in such a way that either they are recommending a particular course of treatment or surgery, or they're telling them, look, I wouldn't do that if I were you. I'd go with this particular option. And in that instance, I have to question the doctor and find out why certain risks were disclosed and why certain risks were not disclosed. And as part of that discussion, I will ask the doctor, did you discuss this particular injury or the risk of a blood clot with the patient? No, I did not. Well, doctor, would you agree that this surgery has an inherent risk associated with a blood clot? Yes, I would. And what is the statistical probability that the patient can experience a blood clot during the course of the surgical procedure? And do you have any literature to support that? And all of these go to understanding what the doctor's perception is and understanding what risks were there and whether or not he felt it was important or critical to disclose those risks to the patient. So why do I even tell you about this and mention this to you? Because chances are you have questions and concerns about whether or not the doctor disclosed all of the necessary risks to you in your particular matter. Chances are you have questions and concerns about the injuries you suffered. Well, if your matter happened here in the state of New York and you have legal questions, what I encourage you to do is pick up the phone and call me. I answer legal questions like yours every single day. You can reach me at 516-487-8207 or by email at lawmed10@yahoo.com. I'm Gerry Oginski here in New York. Thanks for watching.